also with the way that you're able to pull out the best in people. I mean, if we look at, we jump in straight away and look at Dave Allen. I mean, what you've been able to do with him in the last few years is something sort of magical, really, because that wasn't, yes, the things that he went through, losing his nan and having his kids, is definitely a kick to refocus. But if you don't have, there's the nature nurture debate. If you don't have the right support around you to consistently feed the narrative into you that you have the capability and you can do it, it's very hard to hold on to that narrative if you actually at your core don't know if it's true. Like talk me through that journey with him, and obviously only share what you feel Dave would be happy for you to share. But I feel like that's a really incredible thing that you've done there.
I think with Dave, obviously, we've got 9 fighters, so and 9 very good fighters as well. We're absolutely blessed to have a stable of good fighters, and as time's gone on, obviously, you never stop learning, and every single person's characteristics, the demeanour, you have to treat them all individually. You can't blanket it and just go, this is how I coach people. And obviously, this is just my opinion. Everyone's entitled to coach however way they want. But the way I look at it is, someone like Dave, and I know Dave's an open book himself. He'll go on Instagram and tell anybody and everybody how he's feeling, because that's just the type of person he is. He has no airs and graces about him, and that's why people love him. But I feel like with Dave in that certain situation, it was more about, and I'm doing myself a disjustice here, but it was more about getting somebody who knew what they were doing, but first and foremost was going to look after him and care for him, because he'd been in some horrible situations where he'd been through in hard fights and he wasn't fit and he wasn't prepared for them. And I'm not blaming anyone else, and Dave will take ownership for that. He didn't commit himself to the sport, and he wasn't in the right physical shape what he should have been, and probably mental shape as well. But he's just tough and game, and he's a very good fighter, and he was able to get through some difficult fights and get to the end of the fight, survive really to the end. But there were certain fights where what it scared him, in terms of, he was at a point sometimes where he was like, wow, that could have been way worse.